what they say? It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. Wait, or is it the other way around? Either way, when it comes to movies, books, anything, you can be watching and witnessing the greatest told story and adventure you'd ever seen in your life. But if you don't stick the landing, it risks leaving a bad taste in your audience's mouth that in some cases even ruin everything that came before it. The ending is always the most important thing when you tell a story, and it's no different with video games. Well, someone forgot to tell these developers because be it bad storytelling, an underwhelming premise, or too many questions being left unanswered, we have seen plenty of stinky endings in gaming, and these are some of the worst of the worst. This is Big Nasty with you from beginning to bad end, looking at the top 10 worst endings in gaming. It should really go without saying, but we are going to be going over some spoilers for the games we talk about in this list today, but also, in the cases of some of these games, they've been out for decades. So if you see a game you don't want to be spoiled, just click off the video or skip to the next selection, and I swear to God, if I hear anyone complain about spoilers, I'm force feeding you Oreos with water.
Number 10.
Don't you hate it when you're experiencing a story and you witness a character act completely out of character to the complete detriment of the story? I mean, look at Joker. Joker's insanely intelligent, but that boy is all skin and bones. He gets by on getting in Batman's head and one-upping him using his brains. He would never try to fight him. That makes about as much sense as eating Oreos with water and not milk. I promise you, if I even see one person try and lie and say they eat Oreos with water, I'm gonna wreak havoc on my pants with my teeth. Who the hell would do that? Then again, it's already not looking good because in Arkham Asylum, Joker decides to do just that. Not eat Oreos dipped in water, by the way. I don't even think he's insane enough to do that. But instead, his character does a complete 180 and he injects himself with the Titan Serum to make a big burly brute and basically just turned himself into another Bane before devolving into the most cliche and generic final boss fight ever. The Joker would never attempt something like this if fans saw right through it, which left a sour taste in their mouth from this amazing game.
Number 9.
Family is always the most important thing. The Poom Poom was so good it caused the Mandarin to turn on his whole family and awaken an ancient dragon because he thought he could bring her back to life. In the 2009 remake of the arcade classic, Bionic Commando, you do exactly what you did in the original. I mean, look at these two games, they're practically the same. In all seriousness, the game was weird, but it wasn't horrible. But what was horrible was its ending. You spent the whole game dragging down a group called BioRain to find out what happened to your missing wife. Now I want to give everyone a couple of seconds and take a guess to figure out just what happened to his wife. In the ending, you find out your wife was killed and combined with your bionic arm that you've been using all game because it can only attach by an emotional connection. And if you said you guessed that, you're a liar. On the bright side, at least his wife can still give him nice handy J's from the grave as long as he doesn't mind metal scraping against his Bionic Commando.
Number 8.
Now, one franchise I know nobody could have expected was Super Mario. I mean, all the stories are fairly simple. Plumber want cake.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you.
Turtle Dragon steals Princess. Get Princess back. Viciously drown the Turtle Dragon in lava and melt him alive. However, in the game, Mario is missing. Luigi finally gets the solo adventure he's been waiting for when Mario goes missing as he's been kidnapped by Bowser. But the adventure that ensues is about as fun and thrilling as a high school history class, which makes sense because in this educational game, all you do is run around and answer tedious trivia questions, and Bob Barker isn't even around to play a horn or something. Save Mario from Bowser in the end, and how does your grateful brother congratulate you? He gets out the cell and gives you a congratulatory Ghost Rider penance stare. No congratulations message, no ending screen, just Mario staring into Luigi's soul with a hard brick in his overalls and a sexual frustration.
Dear Mario, do not come to the castle. I've baked an absolute dogshit cake. Just completely
Number 7.
The older NES, SNES, Genesis games never had much of a story inside the game to begin with, so it'd be pretty hard to have a bad ending when the story itself is just get to the end of the level. Somehow, they found a way in Ghosts and Goblins. This game is notoriously hard as shit. 2 hits and you're dead, and there's more enemies in this game than there are white women at a Taylor Swift concert. Save the princess with King Arthur though and slay the king of hell, and you'll just be told that the whole thing was an illusion. And if you want the good proper ending, you have to play on the harder difficulty, because babies who play easy mode don't deserve life. Oh, baby want milk? Baby don't get milk. Play hard, baby. This game is already hard enough as it is, and all that time spent stressing out, gritting your teeth, and pulling your hair, you found out was all for nothing.
Number 6.
The story in Borderlands 2 was fantastic, with Handsome Jack and the best crew of playable characters and NPCs in the history of the game. The Borderlands 3 story was fine. I didn't mind it as much as some people, but it left a lot of missed potential on the table. And Borderlands had no story at all, yet it still managed to have an underwhelming ending. You spend the whole game battling locals, fighting against the corporation, and most importantly, searching for the vault. I mean, you are vault hunters after all, and finally you do find it. First, you must kill the monster guarding it, and when you do, the vault is closed, and you never get to see what's inside. The thing you spent the whole game looking for is wasted, brushed aside, and had no bearing on your journey, which just made your entire journey seem pointless.
Number 5.
Endings in choice-based games is always a slippery slope. The whole appeal of these games are about how your choices alter the story, so it can be underwhelming when these games only have one ending, as it feels like your choices don't matter. But then, on the other side of the spectrum, it can be hard to develop multiple different fleshed out, satisfying story endings, all based on different choices someone can make, and that problem plagues Fallout 3's ending, along with another glaring issue. Yeah, I know that Fallout is not really a big decision-based game. The biggest decision you really make in these games is deciding whether or not you want to kick ass in a giant mech suit. With that said, Colonel Autumn's fight is already pretty annoying, but then the game offers you 3 choices, all of them leading to the same route and ending, and none of them mattering at all. Then the cherry on the cake is that eventually you bomb the whole area like ImnotIso's videos bomb on YouTube. Fine at first, until you realize any side quests that you had are gone along with your progress and save file, meaning you have to start a new game to finish whatever you wanted to go back and do, causing you to pull your hair and scream, "No! My save file!" and causing you to buy a DLC to fix the issue if you don't want to lose your file.
Number 4.
Tom Clancy's series of games are filled with some absolutely spectacular gaming experiences like any Splinter Cell and Rainbow Six Siege. But maybe not anymore on that last one. And on the topic of Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 were both great games with better AI, but the ending of Rainbow Six Vegas 2 is enough to put some blue on your balls and some helium in your voice. After you take down Gabriel Nowak, the antagonist of the game, the ending follows and is such a whack ending. You don't even learn about the people behind Gabriel and who he answers to. You don't even get anything with effort put in it, just a screenshot with words reading, don't care, didn't read, what is this? Opening the door for another sequel but leaving fans on an anticlimactic cliffhanger.
Number 3.
And speaking of anticlimactic cliffhangers, part of me wanted to put this lower on the list since obviously we've gotten the sequels by now, but no, none of us should ever forget the ire that Halo 2's ending caused. Halo 2 was a perfect game. You take out Tartarus after a fire campaign. You think Master Chief is done for the night until you see him flying through space on what looks like the final level. They ask, "Master Chief, do you mind telling me what you're doing?" And Chief goes, "Sir, finishing this fight." You are hyped, ready, willing, and able, and then the game ends! What? I gotta wait till 3? I don't want to finish this fight later, I want to finish this fight now! I'm ready to kick some ass! What the
Number 2.
Remember what I said earlier about different endings? Imagine if all the endings were bad. Pretty bad, right? Now imagine if the story fell off the rails and dipped in horse shit before the endings even came. Indigo Prophecy started off as an innovative and interesting offbeat mystery thriller, but then the story falls off the rails halfway through with nonsensical twists and turns and potholes so big you could fit KSI's forehead through. Every ending in this game finds a new way to be trash, and it just devolves into an episode of Dragon Ball. On this episode of Dragon Ball Z, we watch Carla have the great underpants dance with a dead body. How will her confessing her love to Lucas be able to stop the world from ending the next day? Find out next time on the all-new jam-packed episode of Dragon Dead Balls on My Face. Speaking of Dragon Ball, before we can see what number 1 is, let's get a grand tour of the top 10 worst video game endings. Number 10, Batman Arkham Asylum. Number 9, Bionic Commando. Number 8, Mario is Missing. Number 7, Ghosts and Goblins. Number 6, Borderlands. Number 5, Fallout 3. Number 4, Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Number 3, Halo 3. Number 2, Indigo Prophecy.
Number 1.
I mean, it's no surprise what game I'm going to name here, because anybody who has great taste in games and doesn't live under a rock should know what the most underwhelming, disappointing ending is in all of gaming. Over the course of the entire Mass Effect trilogy, your choices decide everything, and your choices do end up mattering and leading to the lives and deaths of your squad, just to name a few consequences. 3 games of masterful storytelling, character development, and a death march towards the Reaper invasion and everything we can do to stop them, and a jam-packed, hyped, climactic finale in Mass Effect 3. The invasion of the Reapers come, and you do everything to stop them as the commander, leading to you activating the Crucible and coming face to face with 3 choices: destroy, control, or synthesis. A difficult choice to make until you realize that all of them just lead to the commander's death with no closure to be found. But it's not all bad, guys. Look, you get different colors depending on your choice. Awesome! Congratulations, EA. The only thing this ending for your critically acclaimed trilogy accomplished was massively affecting my day.